Can I turn this?
You can. Please. I was doing my little speaker match things, and so I was doing the things.
Why don't you do
Hello.
it? Oh.
What's happening?
It's fine.
Hello, everybody. Can I be on the thing, or do I get to be in
I
the
just made it straight. Apparently straight at me.
Straight at me. It's perfect. Hey, everybody. How are you? We should do our waving thing.
Why is it weird?
I don't know what is. I don't know. Does that seem okay?
It's fine.
Okay. Can it be okay?
Yep.
All right.
I'm good.
Hi. How are you? We're good. We have the topic for today is, I just did a screenshot of it.
Do we have updates? Or what are they called? Announcements.
We probably have some. I don't know what they might be. I'm going on holiday next week.
I am doing an executive strategic planning workshop on Friday and Saturday. The Junior Achievement Bowl-a-thon.
Bowl-a-thon? Are we going to bowl?
No, it's on Friday.
Oh, this Friday.
Yeah. Is on Friday. So we still have spots for a couple teams. So if your business would like to sign up a team to bowl for a couple hours on Friday.
Oh, because you're doing the things. That's what we can do.
Yeah, I'm like quadruple booked. Well, you guys could do it.
Quadruple booked.
What else is happening?
Oh, we've got lots of things brewing, which is very exciting. I don't know if we've said anything about our putting together our culture type assessment on a web portal. So then once you take it, you have access to it forever. We'll have teams leaders can access and look at their whole teams. And that's the first little baby thing. And then we're going to build it up into this big sexy thing. So I am super excited about it. So yeah, 2020 is going to be huge.
Huge. This year's going to be huge.
Huge. I love
it. Just like the state of South Dakota, we're on it. I couldn't help it.
You had to say it.
Well, we don't have to have a political debate about how stupid it is, which is there's no debate to be had.
Okay.
But I had to say it.
You had to say.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard another good one that might have been funny. Let's get cooking.
Yeah, that's a good one too. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I guess the other things that are going on is we have just signed agreements to do some training at a credit union. We're continuing to work in manufacturing, and financial services seem to be kind of the things are hitting at the moment. I just put in like 5 applications for speaking gigs all over the country. So hopefully that'll give us some more things to do and say, hey, Stephanie, hey, Lori. And yeah, I don't know what else. And Emily's here. Just seems like there's a lot going on, but not a lot going on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's not really much to announce in this setting.
I guess we still have 2020 planners. Awesome. And somebody said that if you go on the Amazon, a lot of times, you're too late now, lady. You have when you go on, a lot of times you go on Amazon and you want to see the inside of the book. That doesn't have our inside of the book on Amazon. So a lot of people want to see how the planner's laid out. And that's not on there. So we will put some pictures of the inside of the book on the website so you guys can see, or on the Facebook page so you guys can see. Yeah, because as you know, planner people are picky about their planners. So that's maybe part of
I'm going to keep my head down and my eyes closed.
I know, you're so cute.
I'm really particular about how the calendar looks on my phone. That's
that's it. I guess one other thing that Shelly said is if you're in the Northern Hills, the Hatchery Holidays / Festival of Trees.
Festival of Trees, Zonta Festival of Trees.
Which is the 5th through the 8th of December. And they have down at the pavilion, the Zonta has this beautiful Christmas tree display, and there's silent auction things and usually hot cocoa and all kinds of fun things to do. At the same time, the fish hatchery opens for Christmas gift buying. And we have 2020 planners down there because a portion of our every sale goes to the fish hatchery as our philanthropic gift for this year. So buy a planner and go to the hatchery and buy stuff and go to the Zonta event and give them money because they give scholarships to women in the area, right?
Yeah,
So
we
yeah.
do scholarships to young women in the area, and also support organizations like the Artemis House,
That support
which is
women.
for WAVY, which is for violence against women, and all kinds of different things. So it's a really super fun event. You get a really pretty Christmas tree if you happen to buy one on the auction, and they have all kinds of cool stuff that's on the auction. So
4th through the 7th for Festival of Trees, Lori says. Thank you. Auction on the 6th. So if you want to take one of those trees home, you be there on the 6th to get your bid in.
Yeah.
All right. So on the holiday topic, our topic for this week is how do you stay balanced during the holiday season? We're going to offer up our tips live today. So this I actually wrote an article about this a year ago for the Mensa magazine about knowing, sort of taking the opportunity to be self-reflective and knowing what you need to be happy and healthy from an emotional perspective, because that's what culture types can help you have some insight into. So Meg, who's our resident independent, she might not want to do traditional things, or maybe she does, but figuring out how you balance the people that want to do the same thing every year with the people that want to do something new, or maybe they want to go on a trip or whatever. How do you balance what you need versus what everyone else's needs? I think it's a really interesting way to apply culture types.
Yeah, holidays are super stressful. And I think it's really stressful in the Midwest because we're all too nice to not be nice. And it's also stressful because there's a lot of families who are around here and stay here, like mine. My whole family on one side of my family is all here. And they all want to get together, and the family continues to grow. And frankly, there's not even enough room in the house for all the people, but still, there's folks that want to get together. I think it's maybe I've decided that it's painful. It's almost less stressful if there's people who you can't, like if they're too far away. If people are like within 2 hours of you and there's more than one group of humans within 2 hours of you, it sucks.
It probably sucks for you because there's too much to schedule and you have to do all the things.
Well, I think it sucks for anybody because there's like literally everybody can't be everywhere.
Right, that's true. But I really love cramming a bunch of people in a small space and tripping over each other and seeing everybody at once. And I really like that part. Mm. So I think the key is, and there's some families, to your point, that they stay home Christmas and with their sort of nuclear family, and then they do big family stuff other times. So a lot of it is sort of deciding what means the most to you, and not being afraid to disappoint people. I tell you, I have never lived in a place where there was so much guilt around family time. Like I was talking to somebody and their kids had moved away, like to Seattle, and they literally guilted them so much that the kids ended up moving home because they're too far away and they wanted to see the grandkids, and how could you take them away from us and all that junk. And I just thought, whoa, that is like hardcore stabilizer. Like you can't adjust to what someone else needs to do for them because you want the thing that you've always had. So I think it's really about a time of self-reflection. And if someone feels that they need to change what they've always done because it's better for them, maybe give some grace instead of putting what you need on other people. I think at the holidays, that's even probably more important than other times.
Yeah, what we've done in our family, because there's 1, 2, 3, at a minimum 3 places to be at any given holiday. I kind of just treat it almost like a business meeting. Sort of helps me. I mean, that sounds cold, but to sort of help me get my head around taking some of the guilt and emotion out of it, like the unhealthy emotion out of it. So I think, okay, well, if this is a business meeting and I need everybody to be there, what day actually works best? The other thing that helps me, like on December 14th, we're having a family Christmas get together with my dad and that side of the family, because that's when we're all going to be around. So I just sent out a text to everybody and said, hey, what day works good in December? except Christmas, like what's the actual day, or besides Christmas, which the actual day. And then we put something on the calendar, and now we'll all get together because I guess remembering that the magic of holidays is being surrounded by people you love. It's not like Christmas is actually magic on the day. Yeah, there was some magic things that happened apparently on that day many, many, many years ago, depending on what religion you subscribe to. But the reality is, for all of us in this present day, the magic is being with the people that you want to be with. So I'd say use the calendar and think about, those holiday events is almost more like a business meeting, because then it's easier to schedule.
This is definitely her organizer-y tendencies coming out. I think one of the things that keep you less stressed too, based on the calendar, is both at work, at home, at school. You have lots of things going on, and so if you're an organizer-y person, or you prefer order, whether you're a stabilizer or organizer, getting those things planned out ahead of time will really decrease your stress. So like for Meg, she's an independent, but she's just above the organizer line. So she does fall back into that organizer side sometimes. And so for her, literally a month, 6 weeks before Christmas, she already had the date picked out. So that might not be how everyone works. It might be that you just say, hey, I'm around, let me know when to show up, and show up. If she didn't do it, what would happen if you hadn't scheduled it?
Well, we just would have missed Christmas.
You wouldn't have, because there's nobody else that would have organized it.
No.
Right. So that's part of it. How I deal with Christmas is I go home. My folks are in Brookings. I go home for a week before, so usually, Christmas is kind of in the middle, and I go home a couple days before and a couple days after Christmas. And then I connect with everybody, because I have 3 siblings. There's 20 of us when we all get together. And, we have in-laws, my brother has commitments for in-laws. His kids have commitments for his ex-wife, and now she's remarried, so they have commitments. And then there's 2 commitments over here, and then they have school commitments, and they're getting old enough, they're working. And so when do they show up? And so for me, I just show up 2 days before Christmas and stay till 3 days after Christmas. And then I know I'll see everybody, because I know for me, trying to organize everybody into a day makes me want to cry. Now, my siblings are great. They actually figure out, okay, who's going to be there and who's going to cook each day, because cooking for 20 is this constant job. And so they're much more organized about it than I am. I'm definitely the most chaotic of the group. So it's just easier for me to show up and let somebody else worry about all that crap. So being proactive about how you want to work and what ties you down, or if something gets tied down and that stresses you out, how do you sort of honor other people in your life, and keeping your own. The thing that drives me crazy is school. When I hear on a Friday that next Thursday is a big Christmas program, and it's the most important day in your child's Christmas holiday season, and you have to be there at 9:00 in the morning, and I have international visitors in town, that stresses me out. So if there's a commitment I need to make during the day out of work, then I need to know ahead. So again, a lot of it's just being smart about what you need. Because a lot of times if you give in to things that doesn't feel authentic to you, then you start getting kind of pissy, and that doesn't let anybody have any fun. So.
Yeah. I think another important tool you can use during the holiday season is the KCTM, Kurt's Change Transition Model, for those of you who are new to the group, and
or just aren't as super nerdy as some of us.
Yeah, and that is specifically in that tool, there's a spot called Let Go, and as you add new people into your life, into your family, or maybe other people are adding people into their life and family, kind of letting go of what was, which is really hard for people who are order tolerant. And let me tell you, for this Midwestern area, there's a lot of you here who are super order tolerant. You want things to be the way they always were, and kind of thinking about, what do they like now, and how do you let go of what was and still have a great experience going forward. So that's another tool that you can use when you're thinking about, my kids have gone off to college and they don't get they don't get home as soon as I wish they would for the break, and then they want to see all their friends and they're never around, or my
or they have a new boyfriend that you can't stand or whatever.
Yeah. Or my kids are married now and they have their own kids and they want to spend Christmas morning at home with just their family. And, I really want to just go over there, but I haven't been invited. And how do I do that? So the KCTM is really helpful in managing that.
And say the words out loud in like, I'm disappointed you can't come, but I want to honor what you want to do with your family. Because, that half of it is not having the conversation. And what I'll recommend is you can sit around the fire and read the Mad Hatter Principle on page 184, which is all about giving each other grace. It's not about me, it's about what they need and what's going on with them. Another thing I will mention too, that's a tool that I use a lot year round, but also at this time, is just gratitude, trying to express gratitude for things. Because frankly, I have a gratitude journal that I try to write in. I probably write in it once or twice a week. And just writing down things like, I am so happy and grateful that Meg and Shelly are in my life, in our company, because they make my day easier and better every day. Just writing that down kind of overcomes the urge to be frustrated. Or in my family, I'm just so happy. I'm so grateful every day that everyone in my family is healthy. My parents are in their 70s now, and they're very healthy and active, and that can change any day. And I just am so happy that they're healthy and happy. Same with all my siblings and their kids. They're getting into teenage years, and everyone's really they're just not getting into trouble, and they got good heads on their shoulders. And so being grateful for what is good, I think, is a really good way to balance out the anxiety or the frustration that a lot of us get around the holidays.
Which is a great segue into my answer for one of the questions.
Yeah.
How do you incorporate the holiday season into your work culture? This can be really a challenge if you have a diverse group of people working for you. Could be people who are not Christian. You could have people who, don't subscribe to holidays generally. And so I think that, Rachel's idea of gratitude that's something that everybody can be on board with. What are you happy about? What are you grateful for? What are you thankful for? So you can do things, look up ideas about how do you have a grateful environment. One thing that my daughter brought home one day that we've adopted is it's like a jelly jar full of like dried beans, and then you put a stick from a tree in there that's got branches on it, and then everybody can write something on a piece of paper and put a string on it and hang it on there, things that they're grateful for. So it's not a Christmas tree, and it's like an appreciation tree. Yeah. Gratitude. So I think that if you have a diverse culture and you don't want to step on any toes, a good thing to celebrate during the holiday time is gratefulness. I like that. I also like when you have a diverse culture is, especially in the northern climate, in the northern hemisphere, where winter, like we're in holiday season, sort of aligns with winter. One of the things I really love is there's a tradition in some tribal cultures where when you get into January, where the light is getting longer, and you sort of celebrate the end of the hard times or the winter or the dark times, and you can sort of see spring is coming. And so having sort of that sort of new year, we made it through the dark, because the darkest day is usually the 21st, 22nd of December. So you can have a winter solstice party or something like that sort of honors the festive atmosphere that a lot of religions have at this time of year, but it doesn't necessarily prescribe one faith or one attitude. And, a lot of people, you can politicize religion and Christmas all you want, but at the end of the day, the world is made up of a lot of different people, and we want to honor everybody that's in our space. And I think that's an easy way to do it, is just have either a winter solstice party or a yay, winter's almost over party, or just a gratitude event where you show that you value everybody in your organization. But I would also add, if you have a completely dominant Christian or Buddhist or Jewish group in your workplace and you all want to celebrate Christmas, well, by God, say Merry Christmas. Like, I think that
I say Merry Christmas.
On the other end of the spectrum, there's a lot of like, oh gosh, we can't even say Merry Christmas anymore. And everybody just says Happy Holidays because there's...
I don't know if that's a real thing. Is that a thing?
That's a thing. It's a huge thing.
I don't think so. Anyway, I've
experienced it, so it's a thing.
I'm sure you have. I just think it's sort of weird. But anyway.
Well, so anyway, it's a thing. And
a thing, I guess.
If saying Merry Christmas is what makes you happy as an individual, or if your company, can do it without stepping on any toes, well, then by all means, I'd say do it. Or Happy Hanukkah, or, whatever.
Whatever's the right thing. It's, I guess I think you're right. Well, I know you're right. But
Me
I guess
too.
my take, I know. My take on it is, if someone wishes me Merry Christmas, I wish them a Merry Christmas too. Like, if that's their holiday, I want them to have a great holiday. So I just don't get bent over about being worrying about that, I guess.
Well, you have anyway, let's answer the next question. We don't have time for that discussion. Okay. How can IX leadership help you thrive at work this holiday season? Well, I think we sort of talked
about that. I would say too that from a project management perspective anyway, which is sort of my background, is plan on people not working as much during the holiday season, because there's holiday programs, there's family coming, a lot of people have a lot of things going on, and we're distracted. And so we just don't think about, okay, well, and like for me, I'm actually going out on holiday over Thanksgiving. And because of that, we had our Thanksgiving 2 weeks early with my boyfriend's family, which meant that I had to make pie, randomly during the week. That, that kind of thing means that I might not be as focused at work because I'm Googling apple pie recipes or whatever. So you just, if you don't want to derail your progress and your productivity and your on-time delivery, be sure that you're planning out over the holiday season people just being less productive, because they're just going to be. So
yeah, in the corporate world, I mean, basically, if you engage with anyone outside of the United States, they're pretty much gone from the week of Thanksgiving through the second week in January. And it was kind of funny because when I started working with Rachel, so like the first full holiday season we worked together was last winter, and she was really has been working as an entrepreneur for quite a while, seemed very frustrated and almost confused about why people were not returning calls and returning emails, whatever. And Bob, who was working for us at the time, Bob and I were like, well, Rach, everybody's gone on holiday. They have like 6 weeks of vacation that they're trying to burn up.
Everyone's burning the last month of the holiday.
And she's like, no. And I finally said, dude, get over it. Go on a vacation. If you don't like it, put your computer away. Like, it is what it is. People are gone. So I think also, if you're an entrepreneur, trying to close deals or get a hold of people, be realistic, because they are not answering their phone.
Yeah. And that, that's a different conversation. I like it. It's all life. How do you stay balanced during the holiday season? That's a good one. And basically what a lot of times we mean about that is sometimes we're gone for the whole day because one of our family members has a birthday, or maybe we stay up till 2 a.m. because we have to freaking edit the web page again. And that's the only time I can do it without going crazy. And so the trick is that you find ways to make it all work. So if you're miserable at home or you're miserable at the office, it's going to affect the other place. So how do you find that way to just get the things done that need doing, and try to find contentment in the midst of all of that, I guess.
Yeah, I think another thing that's helpful is if you're feeling super overwhelmed, and especially if you're overwhelmed with not just all of the stuff you have to get done, but the amount of guilt that's associated with each one of those things. Because if I don't make the best pie, or if I don't volunteer to bring anything and everybody else does, or if one sibling of mine gets the kids gifts and I can't afford it, or I just think that that's silly and I don't want to do it. or if I think I'm not going to get a project done at work, whatever it is that makes you feel anxious or guilty, jot it down and then decide, jot them all down and decide, how much energy do you want to give to each one of the things, like which one is actually the most important, and then go get it done. Because sometimes we get so overwhelmed, whether it's just with the busyness of the season or the guilt that goes along with not feeling like you're getting enough done, that we don't get anything done. And so when you're feeling overwhelmed, write down all the things you have to do, the amount of guilt that's associated with each one of those things that you're not getting done, and then go start checking things off your list.
That's actually a good idea, because a lot of times one of the things that happens when you say the things out loud or get them written down is that we talk a lot about the fear or the anxiety about something is actually worse than the actual thing. Like you might be really anxious if you don't bring the green bean casserole this year, but at the end of the day, so what if you ask your sister to do it instead, or that you go to the store the day of and you just make it that day? Like sometimes talking about it and writing it out, you're like, oh, well, what other options do I have? Or how can I make this less stressful? A lot of times it's just getting it out of your own brain where it's swirling and swirling. So, and I guess the other just kind of basics is get a lot of sleep. I heard a great quote the other day by, I think it's Vince Lombardi, that was, fatigue makes cowards of us all. And that is true. So the less sleep you get, if you get out of your exercise routine, the grumpier and the more frustrated and the less buffer you're going to have for that Mad Hatter giving people grace. So try to get your sleep, try to stay on your workout routine, try to keep eating what you always eat, because once you get out of that, you can get really grumpy, and it has nothing to do with everybody else. And it's all about how you're feeling and how your body's feeling. So try to keep your routine as best you can, and try not to be grumpy, I guess.
Good luck.
Grumpy penis.
All right. Are we done?
I think we're done.
Okay. Are we doing a live next Wednesday? I will be probably en route to Perkins County, and you will be on a ship.
I am definitely not going to be on. So next week we won't have a live, going back to feeling guilty about not doing your commitments during the holidays. And Christmas and New Year's is on a Wednesday. So I think we'll just have holidays. We can set up a roaring fire with Christmas music for, half hour if you want to watch something.
We'll do a cutout of Mr. Rogers and put him in there too.
Just with a little sweater. And so we'll be missing next week, and then Christmas and New Year's Day. And then maybe we can talk about, I don't know what Shelly has planned, but in the interim, using the KCTM and your culture type for figuring out what your New Year's resolution should be is pretty fun. So we should probably do that on the 18th or whatever the week is before, because that is a way you can set yourself up to actually stick with your New Year's resolutions, because you can actually create them in a way that resonates better with your culture type and how you'll stick with it for longer.
So you should go and buy your accountability planner.
Oh yeah.
Or I keep calling it the accountability planner.
That's because that's what your brain is. Leadership planner.
Your IX leadership planner before the 18th. So you have it, you can take notes in it, and you can start writing things down for how you want your 2020 to be.
That's a great suggestion. I'm speaking at a March event, and the planner of that event is buying, or the coordinator of that event is buying a planner for everybody. And we're actually going to send it out with little notes that says, 30 days to the event, and what is your goals for the year, and all that kind of stuff. So it is a great tool to use for holding yourself accountable.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being here, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Lead powerfully.
Change the world. Bye, everybody. Da, da, da.